The most notable thing about what Chris Rock did is that he has now become just the latest comedian to go full anti-woke.
Chris Rock just dropped a bomb on woke culture and everyone's losing their minds. You won't believe what he said about Meghan Markle and the royal family. Is this the end of political correctness as we know it? Chris Rock's new special is making waves, and we're breaking down why it's hitting so hard. Get ready for some truth bombs you won't hear anywhere else. Remember the Oscars slap? Yeah, that one. Chris Rock took Will Smith's hand to the face like a champ, and then he went quiet. For a whole year, we didn't hear a peep from him about it. People were wondering, is he okay? Is he gonna sue? What's the deal? Well, folks, the wait is over, and Rock's finally talking, but he's not just whining about getting slapped. He's got bigger fish to fry. In his new Netflix special, Rock doesn't just rehash the slap. He uses it as a springboard to dive into the deep end of our messed up culture. He's not playing the victim card. He's calling out the whole deck. Rock's take: the slap wasn't just about him and Will, it was a symptom of a society that's lost its mind. Rock points out how everyone was so quick to make the slap about race, or toxic masculinity, or whatever hot button issue was trending that week, but he's not buying it. He sees it as part of a bigger problem. People are too eager to be offended, too quick to play the victim, and he's not afraid to say it. Like, you'd think after getting smacked on live TV, Rock would be all about that sweet, sweet sympathy, but nah, he's not interested. Instead, he's using his platform to call out the absurdity of it all. He's asking the questions no one else dares to ask, like, why are we so obsessed with being victims? And when did being offended become a superpower? But here's the kicker: the Oscar slap is just the appetizer. Rock's got a full menu of sacred cows he's ready to roast. He's taking aim at everyone from Hollywood elites to social media warriors. No one's safe from his razor-sharp wit. So buckle up, because Rock's just getting started. He's turned what could have been a career-ending humiliation into a launchpad for some serious cultural critique. And if his take on the slap is any indication, we're in for one wild ride. The question is, are you ready for what he's going to say next?
Everybody in here have been cheated on. None of us have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on television.
He's great in a crisis, but in real life, Giuliani's kind of like a pit bull.
You thought Rock's take on the slap was bold. That was just him warming up. Now he's taking aim at the biggest sacred cow of them all: woke culture itself. And let me tell you, he's not pulling any punches. What happens when one of comedy's sharpest minds goes toe-to-toe with political correctness? Rock's not just cracking jokes anymore. He's on a mission to expose the absurdities of woke culture. You know, that hypersensitive mindset where everyone's looking for reasons to be offended. It's the kind of thinking that's got comedians walking on eggshells, afraid to say anything that might ruffle some feathers. But Rock, he's not afraid. He's charging headfirst into the fray. One by one, Rock takes down the sacred cows of woke culture. He's got a bone to pick with this whole victimhood mentality that's taken over social media. Rock sees it for what it is: a twisted kind of celebrity. He jokes that being a victim has become a golden ticket to fame. It's like people are competing to be the most oppressed, and Rock's not having it. He's got a theory about why everyone's so desperate to be offended these days. According to Rock, it's turning us into a society of failures. Instead of striving for success, people are racing to the bottom, trying to out-victim each other. It's a harsh take, but that's Rock for you. He's not here to coddle anyone's feelings. But here's where it gets really spicy. Rock's not just taking on abstract concepts. He's naming names and taking shots at some pretty big targets. Take Meghan Markle, for example. Remember all that drama about racism in the royal family? Rock's got a different take. He argues that the whole skin tone question wasn't racist at all. In his words, that's not racist because even black people want to know how brown the baby is going to be. It's the kind of joke that makes you laugh and wince at the same time.
Rock has a brand new Netflix special. It is his first comedy special since the incident in which he made fun of Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith's wife, at the Oscars.
How far will Rock go in challenging these societal taboos? That's the million-dollar question. He's already pushing boundaries that most comedians wouldn't dare to touch. And from the looks of it, he's just getting started. Rock's special isn't just comedy, it's a cultural moment. He's using humor to say what a lot of people are thinking, but are too afraid to say out loud. From Hollywood to Buckingham Palace, no one's safe from Rock's razor-sharp wit. Remember that royal racism scandal? Well, Rock's about to flip the script on Meghan Markle's claims. His take on the controversy is so unexpected, it's making waves on both sides of the pond. So here's the deal. Meghan Markle dropped some serious bombs about the royal family, saying they were all racist and stuff. She talked about how someone in the palace was worried about how dark her baby's skin would be. Pretty messed up, right? Well, not according to Chris Rock. Rock's not buying what Markle's selling. He's got a different take on the whole thing, and it's got people talking. He's saying that asking about the baby's skin color isn't automatically racist. In his words, even black people want to know how brown the baby is going to be. It's the kind of joke that makes you go ooh and laugh at the same time. But here's the thing, people are loving it. When Rock dropped these lines in his special, the audience went wild. They were laughing, clapping, the whole 9 yards. It's like Rock said what a lot of people were thinking, but were too scared to say out loud. Rock's not just cracking jokes though. He's making a bigger point about how we talk about race and privilege. He's saying we're too quick to cry racism without looking at the whole picture. It's like we're so focused on individual stories that we're missing the forest for the trees. So what's next? Rock's take on the royal drama is stirring up a whole new conversation.
Will Smith to at first laugh and then glance over, see that Jada was mad, and then walk up on stage and smack Chris Rock full across the face while yelling at him to keep her name out of your effing mouth.
What was happened to you was you were performing a task, you fucked up, and you thought, let me rest.
People are starting to ask some uncomfortable questions. Are we too quick to play the race card? Are we missing the real issues by focusing on these personal stories? Rock's using the Markle situation to shine a light on some bigger problems in society. He's talking about how we're all so obsessed with being victims that we're not actually fixing anything. It's a wake-up call wrapped in a punchline. And you know what? Rock's just getting started. He's got plenty more to say about how we're all living our lives. From the royals to regular folks, no one's safe from his sharp tongue and sharper insights. Ever wonder why that overpriced yoga gear comes with a side of social justice? Chris Rock's got some thoughts, and they're not what you'd expect. He's about to expose the dirty little secret behind corporate wokeness that'll make you question everything in your closet. Rock's not just taking shots at celebs and royals, he's going after the big dogs. Those mega corporations that love to preach about how woke they are. You know the ones. They're all about equality and justice, until it's time to pay their workers. Take Lululemon, for example. Rock's got a bone to pick with them. He's calling them out for selling yoga pants at $120 a pop while talking up their social justice cred. It's like, come on guys, you can't be all namaste and we're changing the world when you're charging people's rent for a pair of stretchy pants. But it's not just Lululemon. Rock's taking aim at all these brands that are jumping on the woke bandwagon. They're all about Black Lives Matter and pride flags in June, but where are they the rest of the year? It's like they think slapping a rainbow on their logo makes up for all the other stuff they do. Rock's point, these companies aren't woke. They're just good at pretending. They figured out that looking socially conscious is good for business. But at the end of the day, it's all about the bottom line. They're not trying to change the world. They're trying to change their profit margins.
None of us. Like, hey, I was somebody else's. How did that make you feel?
I looked at him, I said, yo man, you're really funny, but your problem is...
And you know what? People are starting to catch on. Folks are getting tired of all this woke washing. They're seeing through the act and realizing these companies aren't as holy as they make themselves out to be. So what happens now? Are these companies gonna change their ways? Fat chance. But maybe, just maybe, Rock's roast will make people think twice before they buy into all that corporate feel-good nonsense. Rock's special isn't just about getting laughs. It's about pulling back the curtain on all the BS we've been sold. From Hollywood to Wall Street, he's calling out the hypocrisy. And let me tell you, it's just the wake-up call we needed. Chris Rock's special isn't just a bunch of jokes. It's shaking things up big time. You can feel the shift happening. More and more comedians are starting to push back against all this woke nonsense. It's like Rock opened the floodgates, and now everyone's ready to speak their mind. So what's next for comedy? Well, it looks like the days of walking on eggshells might be over. Comedians are gonna start saying what they really think, not just what they're supposed to say. It's about time, right? We've been tiptoeing around for too long.
But I realize they're gonna have the Oscars anyway. They're not gonna cancel the Oscars because I quit, you know? And the last thing I need
is to lose another job to Kevin Hart.
But he's complaining.
I'm just saying, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like 15 people in your house.
But here's the thing, it's not just about comedy. This is bigger than that. It's about free speech, about being able to have real conversations without everyone losing their minds. Rock's special might just be the wake-up call we needed. Who knows? Maybe we're heading into a new era where people can actually disagree without trying to cancel each other. Wouldn't that be something? It's gonna be interesting to see how all this plays out. One thing's for sure, comedy's never gonna be the same after this.